This week on Healthy Living, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The fight continues. And a breast cancer survivor shares her story with the hope to educate others. How much do you know and how concerned are you about breast cancer? Your answers coming up. Plus, Ghana walks to keep breast cancer at bay. We'll have these stories and more in this edition of Healthy Living. Hello and welcome to Healthy Living. I'm Linor Moudou. It is a diagnosis many women fear. Breast cancer is a disease in which cells grow out of control. The cancer is often undetectable in its early stages. The World Health Organization says breast cancer most commonly presents as a painless lump or thickening in the breast. Other symptoms include changes to the skin over the breast, such as dimpling, swelling of all or part of the breast, and irritation of the breast. Breast cancer comes in many forms. According to Johns Hopkins Medicine, triple-negative breast cancer accounts for about 10 to 20% of all breast cancer cases, and it is more aggressive and more likely to develop in Black women. Breast cancer can develop in both men and women, but it's far more common in women. Experts say there is a chance of 1 in 4 women developing breast cancer as opposed to 1 man out of 100. Global cancer data reveal a high mortality rate of breast cancer in Africa, and the reasons include lack of access to adequate treatment, myths and misconceptions about the disease, and late diagnosis.
Breast cancer is the top cancer for women globally. Data from the World Cancer Research Fund International shows that there were more than 2.26 million new cases of breast cancer in women in 2020. Experts say at least 80% of people survive breast cancer in North America. In low-income countries, it is less than 50%. And Black women are more at risk. Dr. Beatrice Wiyafe Adai is the president of Breast Care International, a Ghana-based not-for-profit breast cancer advocacy organization.
We do have a lot of triple-negative disease. The Black Americans also do have, but it's because we have the same roots.
Researchers have identified biological links between African ancestry and triple-negative breast cancer. Scientists say it is more aggressive and more likely to spread beyond the breast and to come back after treatment than other types of breast cancer. They say more research is needed on breast cancer among women of African descent so they can have better prevention and treatment options specific to their needs. Pathologist Dr. Kafui Akakpo works with Yemachi Biotech, a homegrown research and diagnostics startup.
If you look at every study across the world, there are very few of them who are Africans. So what this does is that you come to the African population and study it, and that has effects on African Americans and any other group that has a basis in Africa. That's why this is so important. Without it, you don't have enough to relate to African breast cancer. Most of it is actually in a white population and not in an African population.
Medical experts say age, obesity, inactivity, and alcohol use can increase the chances of developing breast cancer. And early detection and prompt action can increase the chances of survival.
Being diagnosed with breast cancer can be scary. It is an experience Helewa Ubao Ali went through in 2019. Now cancer-free, she has decided to share her experience.
That moment, it was very hard for me and even for my family. But I remember I was wake up, do my normal routine, go back to work, normal stuff, and my doctor called me, you know, Miss Ali, you need to come get your result. You know, so I went back there. My doctor sit down like this talking to me and hold my hands you know, we got your result, Miss Ali, you diagnosed with breast cancer. I was like, what? No. That, because I could not believe it, because it was not, and we believe breast cancer run in the family. And as far as I know, nobody in my family, you know, had a breast cancer. So it was shock to me, shock to my friend and my family, you know, but thank God, from there, I talked to myself, and I have a lot of faith. I told God, I said, you know what? I know I can beat this. We can go ahead, start the treatment, you know. Then I went to see my oncology. When I went to see him, he said, okay, Miss Ali, we're going to do mammogram one more time. We want to make sure what stage you are and everything for your breast cancer. So we went back, we do mammogram. After that, you know, they find out it was stage 3. So we was like, okay, we're going to go ahead and do it. We start chemotherapy first. After chemotherapy, I do twice a week. I used to go twice a week, you know, for 2 months. After my chemotherapy, then I had to do surgery. You know, I did my surgery. You know, they put implant in. I remember it was February 2020, and the COVID started. And after my chemo, I couldn't go back to the hospital for 4 months. I was so scared, frustrated. I'm scared because I don't know what's it's gonna get worse. Okay, my last treatment, I think it was November or 2020, I think. Yeah, so I finished my radiation and did my surgeries. After that, I have to do my eat healthy. That's very important. You have to change your habit, what you're eating. That's very important, what you put in your body. Because before I didn't do it. So now I learn I have to take care of myself, to go to do exercise, even for walk, 30 minutes walking. You know, eat healthy, you know, take care of yourself, you know, because you feel good inside, but you show you outside. My final message to my people is like to be good for yourself and take care of yourself. And you know, breast cancer is really not only for the family. Anybody can get breast cancer. Young, old, you can get twice. They just pray and be united together and help each other to make strong.
Mariam Mukhtar Ali is Technical Program Manager for Advocacy, Policy and Research with Medicaid Cancer Foundation. She tells us more about breast cancer.
So the causes of breast cancer are not established scientifically. However, we have risk factors for specific to each kind of cancer. For example, for breast cancer, we have risk factors such as age. So the older you get, the more vulnerable you are as a woman to develop breast cancer. Age-wise, usually between the age of 40 to 50, but mostly women are diagnosed, more women are diagnosed after the age of 50. Women should endeavor to go for routine checks, ultrasounds for women below the age of 40, mammograms for women above the age of 40, and self-breast examination is key. Okay, so interestingly, men do have breast cancer, although the statistics have shown a very rare occurrence in men. So a chance of one man out of 100 men can have cancer. But the risk of men having cancer also increases if there is a history of breast cancer in the family. We have very low level of education. We have very low access to health facilities. We have a very weak health sector, so to speak. So it's one thing to be aware, it's another thing to know where to go to, it's another thing entirely to be able to support your treatment. And treatment is very expensive when it comes to cancer, especially for breast cancer and cervical cancer. So the treatment options when diagnosed with cancer would be chemotherapy, radiation therapy, and surgery. A lot of women that are aware they have cancer are not able to finance their treatments. Even though we have treatment centers, we have hospitals that render these services. So it's not just access to treatment, but the funds for it. That is why we need policies in place to help support cancer treatment. Okay, so to reduce the risk, we have discovered that breastfeeding helps to reduce the risk. It lowers the risk of breast cancer. Prolonged breastfeeding in women. Also, smoking is a factor. So people are advised to cut off smoking, living a healthy lifestyle, whether it could be your diet, it could be exercise, or having a healthy weight. Ways you can lower your chances of breast cancer. The key message is early detection saves lives. If you wait until the signs reach advanced stages, you may not even respond to treatment as desired.
How much do you know about breast cancer, and are you concerned about the disease? Here are some reactions from Nigeria.
We always advise as women, we check ourselves medically, from time to time, and you always check your breasts, and then the doctors will always check you from time to time. I do that from time to time because I'm aware that I am, open to all these, free radicals around me that can actually lead to that. So I don't joke with my health, and I do a lot of exercise.
Breast cancer in men, because I can remember back then in my hometown, there was a cousin of mine who had a swollen breast. Even up till now, I believe the stuff is still disturbing him. So definitely, men also had breast cancer as well.
No, I've not had it before. That is just the truth. I've not had it that men, do have breast cancer. No. But why should men have breast cancer? Nobody is sucking it for them. Nobody, they don't breastfeed, children. So I don't think that they should have such a ailment.
Let them take care of women as a breast cancer, because breast cancer used to kill women now, but every day. It was last week that one of my sister, she died with breast cancer.
Reports from Ghana show that about 70% of women who do not go to hospitals for early breast cancer tests lose their breasts or even die due to the disease. An organization in Ghana is taking some bold steps to reverse the trend. Hamza Adams has the report.
The march is held annually in October in different parts of Ghana. Thousands of people have gathered this year in Tepa in the Ahafo-Hano North District to raise awareness about breast cancer. It is the 10th edition for Breast Care International. The organizer of the event, under the name Breast Cancer Won't Rest, So What Should We? Dr. Beatrice Weyafe Adai is the president of Breast Care International.
Our daughters, our friends are dying needlessly from this disease.
Medical experts say late detection of breast cancer is one key reason for high mortality rates in Ghana in particular and Africa as a whole.
When a woman notices a lump in her breast, but because the lump does not cause her any pain, she thinks there's no need to act, to go to the hospital.
Breast Care International has called on donors to support the initiative.
We just want to entreat other organizations, benevolent individuals, philanthropists to come on board and to support the needy breast cancer patients.
The Morocco Embassy in Ghana has pledged its support to continue the fight against breast cancer in the country.
That's our show for today. For more health news, wellness tips, and medical breakthroughs, stay connected to Voice of America at voaafrica.com. You can follow me on Twitter at Linor Moudou. Until next time, stay well and strive to make every day a healthy day.